Hello and welcome back, Amazing's Barbecue here, and we are getting ready to prepare a Packer brisket. It's about 18.24 pounds in size. What I've done is I've gone ahead and laid plastic on the countertop and went ahead and rinsed the brisket and then put the brisket on a cookie sheet. That way I can start trimming the fat. With a full packer brisket, you have the flat and then a hard cap. And with this hard cap, that's fat that will have a problem rendering. So I'm going to cut off a majority of that fat cap and put it in a pan and let some of it will render down. Uh, it's just we'd want to remove this prior to putting it on the smoker because it will not render very well on the brisket itself. As you can see here, I'm trimming up some of the other part of the fat cap that's on the other side where the flat is. Just trying to clean it up as best I can, leaving the rest of the softer fat to render down into the brisket. Now I'm going to go ahead and take this larger piece of fat off of this side, right at the cap, and then I will end up cutting the cap off and putting it in the pan with the other fat to help render and make some burnt ends. Right now I'm trimming up a little bit of the rest of the fat cap that's on here that won't render easily. Now I'm going to flip the brisket over. As you can see, the full flap. And then what I'm going to go ahead and do is start cutting that part of that cap off to make my burnt ends. Right here you can see the part of the larger section of fat cap that's hard to render back. It's tough fat and it takes really high heat to render any of that. I like to cook my briskets at 225. All right, we're back after trimming. I put the rest of the cap actually in the pan and getting ready to season the brisket with my SPG that I made a couple days ago. I like to be generous with my SPG, my salt, pepper, garlic on the brisket. So what I'm doing is actually being very liberal with the seasonings on the brisket on both sides, um, all across the meat and the fat tissue. And then what I will do is take the brisket off of the baking sheet and set it directly on the saran wrap, and then wrap the saran wrap tight against the brisket. And it's best when you're doing the brisket, if you got plenty of time to prepare the brisket, take your time, season it the way you want, wrap it in saran wrap for at least 12 hours before you want to put it on your smoker or grill. I like to do 48 hours, and let that seasoning set in and start resting the meat prior to cooking. I like to put the brisket on at nighttime. Get my smoker going at 225, and I will put that on at night, and then in the morning I will actually wrap it with butcher paper and continue the cook on the brisket. All right, what I've got now is the cap with the fat in a pan. So what I'm going to do is actually use that cap. I'm going to season it down again with the SPG on both sides, and then I want to actually turn that into burnt ends uh, while I'm cooking the rest of the brisket in the smoker for 12 to 16 hours. And it'll give us something good to eat on while we're waiting on the brisket. Um, with the brisket, I like to leave it on low smoke, wrapped, and the flavor is amazing when it's wrapped in butcher paper. And if you like this, please like and subscribe, and be looking for more videos from Amazing's Barbecue. Thank you.